Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Techbot Solutions. Today I'm going live off of my laptop, so the stream quality might be a little bit different, so I do apologize for that. Throughout this video, I'm going to be talking about the top 10 stocks that you guys see value in. I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently today. Half of the stocks that we talk about today are going to be coming from the people that responded to my Instagram story. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, the link is down in the description. Friendly reminder, I only have one Instagram account. There's a bunch of fake ones out there. I never message you first, just to be completely, open with you. If you receive a message from me and stuff like that, it's probably not me. So I have one Instagram account. I have 188,000 followers. And again, that link is down in the description. But let's go ahead and get started. I hope that throughout this video, you learned something new. You get one step closer to your overall goal. And if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up. And maybe consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. So I am using the Webull platform. Everything it is that I use and that I talk about today in this video is all linked in the description. My free Facebook group, we have over 314,000 members. Our live trading group, right? Learn, Plan, Profit. If you want to watch me trade live every day. The Webull platform, and of course, any discounts that you guys want off of the apparel, mousepad, and flags are all found in the description. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to say what's up to a couple of the people that are tuning on in. So if you're tuning on in for the first time, don't be shy. Please feel free to say what's up. So we got David, we got Navi Trades, Nelson, we got Kevin, Ambrose, Carlos, Croc Daddy, Rob Street, Sir Yusuf, Raphael, Ambrose, Netflix, Carlos, Raphael, what's going on, man? Alexander, I'm not Daniel, what's up? We got Bradley, Jose, Rob Street, Elmer, Netflix account 90, The Matrix has you, what's up? Hulk Hogan, I like it. So really do appreciate you guys taking time out of your Sunday. I promise you this will not be a long video. Let's make it short and sweet and get you back to what it is that you are doing today, right? So who's excited for market open tomorrow? So what's going on? Osama, what's going on? Sahan, Grafted Investor, really do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. So I'm here in California. Friendly reminder, I'm live streaming off of my laptop. That's why the stream quality is a little bit different. So if you guys can help me out when people begin to comment and ask why the stream quality is different, feel free to explain it to them. So I'm going to start off with breaking down someone that asked on Instagram. So again, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, the link is down below. So this is from, is it B Walla? He asked me to break down PTON. So PTON is Peloton. Let's go ahead and break this down. So let me see if I can actually get your name. So we've got Brennan Waller. So I appreciate you responding to my story. Looks like on the 4-hour time frame as of right now, PTON pulled back to lows of 120. One of the things that we experienced last week is some tech stocks pulled back. Nothing too drastic. A lot of you guys experienced, Tesla pulling on back. I was shorting Tesla during that time. I bought the dip on Tesla. I rode the recovery. So right now things are kind of uncertain. We have the market at all-time highs. That's one of the things that I would ask you to take into consideration. Is Peloton super cheap right now? No, that's not a question, right? You can see that it hit lows of $78. I was making videos literally almost every other day when Peloton was this low to prepare for the recovery. Now that we've recovered quite a bit of it, right, it tends to get rejected right around 120 to 130. It doesn't mean that it can't recover and continue to make new highs. It just means that with the NASDAQ tech market at all-time highs and with Peloton at, at a previous resistance level, if the NASDAQ market begins to pull on back, then this will most likely follow. Does it mean that it has to? No. So just make sure that if you do choose to take advantage of this nice little pullback, that you do it with a position size in which you can tolerate, right? And that's only a question you can answer yourself. So let me go ahead and break down a stock from this live chat. So we got John with the ticker call out format. I appreciate you going out of your way and adding that there. So we got AEI. Let's go ahead and break that one down. So this is stock number 2. Looks like it's a pretty consistent descending pattern. So I'm not the biggest fan of these. That's just a little heads up on that. So on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that this thing has been selling off, been making lower lows, lower highs. It has random pumps, right? So it hits highs of nearly $8 a share. But as of right now, it's not looking too good in the sense of it's been on a continuous descending pattern. So we can't be surprised if it begins to pull on back, right? As of right now, it's testing the SMA line as a potential support level. All I want to say about this one is I'm never here to discourage you to not take advantage of an opportunity, right? All I want you to be aware of is the risk involved. I think that's all we can do as, especially, people that upload videos on YouTube, right? You should never have to be convinced to do something. It should always be what's best for your future self. All I want to share with you on this one, it's more about risk management, is that more often than not, if you look at this on the 180-day, 4-hour time frame, it's been on a continuous descending pattern, meaning that it's been selling off over the past couple of months. So you can't be surprised if you put money into this that it will most likely continue to sell off. Of course, we hope that it recovers, but hope is a very naive way to approach the market. If we begin to get indication of a recovery, then great. Do it with a position size in which you can manage. But as of right now, we're at a potential support level. When it does push, it doesn't last a very long period of time. So I hope that you're good at managing risk. I hope that you're good at position size. And I hope that you're good at locking in profits. It's not that this isn't a trade worth taking. It just means that the direction's not in your favor. So more often than not, it tends to be red than it does actually green, right? Let's go ahead and break down another stock from one of the followers on Instagram, and that is going to be, let's see if I can get one. So from Instagram, this one's actually going to be very interesting to follow up with. That's going to be ticker symbol SPCE. And the reason that's going to be so interesting, and I see a lot of you guys actually talking about it, Virgin Galactic, right? A lot of you guys saw that. I think it was actually, was it today or yesterday, that Richard Branson, right, Virgin Mobile billionaire, beat Elon Musk or beat Jeff Bezos to space. This one's going to be super interesting to follow up with tomorrow. What are some things to be prepared for, right? They had a successful, what do you want to call it, journey to outer space, a successful launch, a successful mission. And they came back. So that's going to most likely act as positive news, positive catalyst, and we're going to probably see this stock do pretty well tomorrow at market open. Doesn't mean that you have to buy at the highest price and hold. What normally happens, let me ask you guys this, what normally happens when a stock shoots up due to relevant news within a short period of time? If I were to ask you, okay, this news came out, right? It was space, SPCE is not super cheap right now. So when it shoots up, what most likely will follow in a couple of days to a week to 2 weeks, right? It's not going to be as hyped up of a news, right? It's not going to be super crazy to, it's not going to be relevant. I think that's the best way to put it. It's great news for a short period of time, and then it corrects itself. So as long as you're aware on that or about that, I think that's super interesting to follow up with. I know that this is a stock that I'm gonna pay attention to tomorrow during the pre-market session, and if you're part of our Learn Plan Profit group, it's definitely a stock that we're going to be talking about during the live trading session. So would I say that it's a buy and hold? Not necessarily, right? It doesn't really change much on that aspect, but when it comes down to the momentum, the relevance, the direction, I think it's going to be very interesting to follow up with tomorrow. So, and great to see that it was a successful mission, right? Let's go ahead and break down a stock that you guys are asking for. MRIN. All right, so just so you stop spamming it, let's go ahead and break it down. So we can see that on the 180-day, 4-hour time frame. So I'm not here to disregard anything it is that you think about this company, right? But I can see that this shows obvious signs of manipulation, of a pump and dump. It pushed up within a very short period of time, hit highs of $28. You can see the volume spike. The volume's now dying out, and the price action follows. This is almost identical to the idea of what's going to happen tomorrow with Virgin Galactic, right? But I don't know what caused this thing to push up. You can look into the fundamental side or into the news side on what caused MRIN to pump. but it looks like it's quickly pulling on back, and I just hope you have an exit plan. These don't normally last a very long period of time. Again, if it begins to recover, set an alert. There's nothing wrong with taking advantage of a day trade if you know how to manage and mitigate risk, if you know how to lock in profits, if you know how to manage your position size. But for you to think that this is only going to continue to uptrend, there's a long list of stocks that will pump for a very short period of time and then crash shortly after. So just make sure that you put your future self in a position to succeed, right? Let's go ahead and break down another one. So we got Lando Hernandez. I appreciate you posting this in the ticker call out format. So we got Snow, which is Snowflake. You guys can see this, that on the 1 hour time frame, we are at, as of right now on the 4 hour time frame, from what I see, we are approaching previous highs. So that's going to be highs of, what is that, 272. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a further step back. It looks like previous resistance level came from overall highs of, so it still has overall highs of 430, and it's been pulling back ever since. It's been showing signs of a potential recovery, so it looks pretty good right now. Would I say that Snow is super cheap? Definitely not. Very overbought. Look at the RSI, look at the MACD. We can use those indicators as a reference, right? Is it due for a little bit of a pullback, a correction? I think so, but it's bullish, right? You could see that Snow has been bouncing off of this SMA line. It's been validating it as a support, and it makes higher highs and higher lows, which is great to see. Doesn't mean that Snow isn't a stock worth investing in. I would just say that at the price point right now, it wouldn't be much of a surprise if it pulls on back just a little bit, So I would wait, set those alerts, and follow up with it maybe when it's a little bit of a better deal. Let me know what you think about that. So we've broken down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, already halfway through the live stream. So we got Nelson with ticker symbol NIO. Let's go ahead and break this one down. So on the 4 hour time frame for NIO, we can see that it pulled on back from highs of $55, pulling on back to the SMA line. This is going to be a test. This is a critical point. It's what I like to call it. The reason I like to call it that is this thing was bullish before, right? It was increasing in price and in value. And then it breaks its pattern. It's no longer showing this upward staircase pattern. It's pulling on back. It's testing support level at the SMA line. And we'll see. Does it hold above SMA and bounce and recover? Or is it going to break below SMA and then drop right back down to $30? Both are probable outcomes. It's your job to set alerts on both sides. You don't have to try to predict. Just set your alerts and follow up with it. It pays to be patient in this market. I would set my alert for the break above 47.50 and my alert for the break below 42.50, so you can be aware of, is this breaking support or is this breaking above a resistance level and recovering, right? So you either understand, good thing I didn't get into it, or hey, it might be time to take a position. Let's go ahead and break down BAC. So Bank of America. Right, so Bank of America with a pretty solid pullback all the way down to lows of $38.74. One of the things that I do want to point out is, what was Bank of America doing when it was above SMA, right? It was validating it as a support level. It hit highs of 43.49, and now that we're trading below the SMA, which is this green line, what used to act as a support level, you see that, is now acting as a resistance level. So just be aware of that now we are getting rejected by the SMA line. So do you want to buy here and sell here? Is that margin worth it for you? Is the opportunity cost worth it for you? If it is for you, great. I'm not here to convince you or to discourage you. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. All I know is that we're no longer bullish, we're bearish, right? We're trading below the SMA line and we're making lower highs, not necessarily lower lows, but it's not the best deal as of right now. So we'll just have to wait to see if it breaks above SMA, or once it gets rejected, if it breaks below the support level. I'm actually going to set my alert here, so I can create an alert here. And then once it breaks below 38.50, I can be aware of, hey, is BAC pulling on back? If it is, great, I can get it for a better price point, right? Let's go ahead and break down just a couple more. Again, if you're adding any of these stocks to your watch list, we would really appreciate it if you feel like we earned it, to consider dropping a thumbs up. So let's go ahead and break down this one. So this is KBH. So KBH, here we go. Alrighty, so we could see that it had overall highs of about 52.50, right? It was super bullish before, validating the SMA line as a support. But now what are we doing? We're making lower highs and lower lows. Quite the opposite. Is this a stock that you want to buy all in right now? I get why you're paying attention to it. It pulled on back, right? So I can see why you're paying attention to it in the idea that, hey, I can buy here, and if it recovers, right, I'm sure that's something that you've taken into consideration. If it recovers, it has 30% potential if it fully recovers. But one of the things that you have to ask yourself is, what makes it any different than last week or the week before that? It's still selling off, right? So why force a buy right now? And if you do decide to buy, just make sure that you do it with a dollar amount that's not too aggressive, that you can't tolerate. Do you get what I mean? So I think it's great at the price point that it's at as of right now. I just don't want you to be convinced that it has to bounce here. Nothing has to happen. Do your future self a favor, stay well balanced, stay patient, set effective alerts, and it's so much easier. It's still not easy, but so much easier to trade or to invest when the direction is in your favor, and we just don't have that right now for KBH. So let me know what you think about that one. Let's go ahead and break down another one. So we got ticker call out format. We got Brandon Wagner with Wish. So Wish being a very popular stock as of right now. We got Wish that recently came from a nice pump, right? Is quickly pulling on back, testing support level. I see why you're paying attention to it. All I'm going to ask you is, based off of Wish's previous performance for the past month, lower highs, lower lows, if you were to ask yourself, hey, I have $1,000 in my brokerage, is this something that I want to invest those $1,000 into with this consistent descending pattern? I get it. It pumped. It brought a lot of excitement. It doesn't mean that it has to recover to that price point. So just make sure that you do your future self a favor and put your money in areas that are actually showing signs of growth and not just you hoping that it actually begins to recover. So just my 2 cents on that. A lot of people have been asking about airlines, so let's go ahead and break down. I'll break down American Airlines, I'll break down Southwest, which is love. I saw one of our viewers right now was asking me about it. Airlines are something that I'm personally paying attention to right now because of how much they've sold off. A lot of you guys have seen that a lot of them offer nearly 20% in recovery, right? So this one's American Airlines is 25%. We got Southwest, which is LUV, that offers a very similar percentage potential for gain, but as of right now, keep it simple. The direction's not in our favor. There's no reason to force an entry or to go all in. If you decide to take a very light position because you can tolerate if it continues to sell off, then great, so be it. But don't be convinced that something has to happen anytime soon, right? It was kind of like when a lot of us during the midst of the pandemic bought or invested a lot into these airlines. It wasn't that we expected them to recover right away. That wasn't our thought process. The thought process was, I'll put a little money here so if it does recover, I can reap the benefit. That's kind of the idea with this. It's not that it has to recover now, but it's that it's pulled back enough that it's a decent deal that if it does recover, it can pay off, right? Position size, being able to manage and mitigate risk, and of course, knowing when to lock in profits. Let's go ahead and just do one more. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've done, all right, so let's end it with lucky number 12, right? Lucky number 12. Let's see what we got going on. We got Jared here. I might do a little bit more than 12. So Dltr. Here we go. I'll do another one. I just want to make sure that I got Jared's stock down. So let's go ahead and also do, we'll do Josue. He did Woof. So we'll go ahead and break that one down. So Dltr as of right now, Dltr, a lot of consolidation. I see why you're paying attention to it. It's trying to validate a support, but it's not indicating any signs of a reversal. So I would set an alert for the break above the SMA line or the break above this resistance level right around 103. Allow that opportunity to present itself. Allow the direction to be in your favor. And if it does, great. We have margin to recover all the way back up to 120. There's no reason to rush into this when it could easily continue to sell off. So let's just make sure that we're aware of that, right? And then Woof, which was Petco, right? Health and wellness, aggressively sold off down to lows of 20. Previous resistance level right around 29. So I see why you're paying attention to it. 37% potential for recovery, but let's not be convinced that it has to recover anytime soon, right? It's been selling off. Let's allow the opportunity to present itself. If you want to take a light position because you see the potential, great. But also know that it can continue to sell off, so just make sure that you can tolerate it. So I actually really like this one. I like it because of the opportunity that it presents, right? The upside versus downside. It's opportunity cost. And this is something that we always talk about within our Learn Plan Profit group. It's the golden ratio, making sure that you put your money in areas that make sense to you. It doesn't mean that you have to be right all the time, but that you do. It's all about calculated risk. And I think that's something that we can all respect about one another. It's not pretending like we're right all the time, but with the idea that the risk that we do take is calculated. So let's go ahead and we're going to be ending the live stream here. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time this Sunday. Again, friendly reminder, this live stream is off of my laptop, which is why the stream quality is a little bit less. So I appreciate your guys' patience and putting up with the different stream quality. I'll be back in Arizona tomorrow, and I hope that you're excited for the live trading session tomorrow at Market Open. If you guys want to join us for the live trading session, make sure you click the second link down below. If you guys want to download the Webull platform, which is what I'm using right now, that's the third link down below. And if you guys want anything from mouse pads, flags, or day trader apparel, fourth link in the description at shoptechbuds.com will earn you 25% off and, of course, free shipping. Everything is super inexpensive on the site. Just use promo code SUNS, S-U-N-S, at checkout, and you'll earn 25% off your entire cart. So really do appreciate you guys' time. Wish you guys the best. Like always, make sure to stay connected. Hope we earned your thumbs up. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year